Welcome to the online 21-day course conducted in several languages. The main part where I am is conducted in English, but we have breakout rooms available in many different languages, if that helps you better to understand what we're doing here in this course. It's called a 21-day course, and we continue throughout the year, so today is day 22. My name is Mark, and I live in New Jersey, USA. And here's a reminder to get your foot soaking basin and other equipment ready because our first meditation session will include a foot soak. So if you're new, if today is your first day, then we do begin every session with a foot soak. So you need a basin, some salt, just basic table salt you use for cooking, some kind of towel, either a paper towel or cloth towel, and some kind of rinse water. And the water just room temperature or slightly warm, just so it's comfortable. So if you are continuing from the first 21 days, then you're going to enjoy this second 21 days where we keep moving forward, keep introducing new ideas, new techniques, new experiences. And if you're brand new, you'll be amazed at how simple Sahaja Yoga is and how, since it's based on what you feel, what you're experiencing, you'll definitely join with us in a very deep and enjoyable meditation in this class. So you'll be thinking that, gee, didn't we cover that before? But it'll be covering it at a new depth if you've been here through the first 21 days. Also, at the end of the program, if you really want to talk to a Sahaja Yoga teacher and say, can you explain a bit what's going on? You can, at the end of this class, request a breakout room, and you can even request which language you would like that breakout room in. Everything is stored, and it's up on a YouTube channel. So we'll give you all that information later in this class of how to look at all the things that we've done before, find the recordings. And this is Sahaja Yoga, so it is always free. Everything that we're going to show you is already within you. So there's no way we can charge for what's your own potential. Today we're going to look at the central energy channel, and we'll also look at a new technique to take away our worries and our aggression about something that might or might not happen. We call it giving it abundant, and we'll demonstrate that in today's class. So we have two presenters with guided meditation, a live musician, a video of the founder, Shri Mataji, and at the end, us presenters will be sharing some of our experiences practicing Sahaja Yoga. So let me introduce our presenters. Welcome Sylvia and welcome Prasad. So I, for many years, was a graphic designer, then I taught English as a second language, and now I devote most of my time to teaching Sahaja Yoga. I'm kind of a retired person. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Sylvia.
Hi everyone, good evening. My name is Sylvia, originally from Austria, now living in the United States. If I don't teach Sahaja Yoga, I teach flute, and today I will be playing the Indian flute, so-called bansuri, for you. The piece I'm playing is Rag Durga, which is very good for our heart chakra.
All right. And Prasad, let me introduce Prasad as someone that I've met in Italy, and turned out that he teaches watercolor painting, and so he has taught me his technique of watercolor painting, so it is a real thrill to have you on the program. What else can you tell us about yourself, Prasad?
Thank you so much, Mark. Yeah, I paint and I teach art. That's what I've been doing for the past few years. It's been thoroughly enjoyable, and I've taken a lot of inspiration from this meditation, and of course the beauty of the nature we're surrounded by.
All right. Looking forward to seeing Prasad as our first presenter. So over to Prasad.
Thank you so much, Mark. So for this first meditation exercise, which is going to be focused really on the central channel. That's the theme of this week. And you can see there we have three channels. We have this left channel, which is the blue one, which comes out of the first chakra, the Muladhara, and goes all the way up and forms that blue balloon. And this is called the left channel, or the Ida Nadi in Sanskrit. And then the yellow channel is the channel of the sun, our future, and is also called the Pingala Nadi, and it forms that yellow balloon on the other side of the head called the ego. So the yellow forms the ego, and the blue forms the superego. And then in the center, we have this white channel, which is called the Sushumna Nadi, which is the channel of our evolution. You can also think of it as the past, which is the left channel, the future, which is the right channel, and the central channel, which is the present moment. And what happens when our Kundalini rises? Our Kundalini brings our attention. Our attention is sometimes spread all over, and it concentrates our attention up our central channel, raises it up, purifies each chakra as it goes through, and helps us to achieve this state of meditation where we overcome all thoughts and experience this bliss, this joy, and this sense of integration with ourselves, with humanity. And it's the yoga. It gives us the ultimate union, basically. And at the top there, you see this beautiful flower, this lotus. It's called the Sahasrara, the 1,008 petaled lotus. And all these petals represent a different aspect within ourselves, and they blossom. So we realize our full potential. And I hope in this guided meditation, in this the second round of this 21-day workshop, you're going to really deepen this experience of yoga. So let's begin. So I have a foot soak tub. Maybe I'll just show it to you now. It's just a tub. I've got my paper towel on my left and the jug on the right. So it's pretty simple. You don't need too much. So let's begin by first raising our Kundalini and giving ourselves a bandhan. If you're new, you can just watch me as I do it. I take my left hand and I place it at the base of my spine, and I just raise it up while taking my right hand and rotating around it. So it's like raising our attention. And at the top, we tie a knot. And we do this 3 times in total. Do this again. And here we tie 2 knots. 1, 2. And again, we're coming up. And here we tie 3 knots. And we can raise our head towards the ceiling. 1, and tie 3 big knots. And the last one, make it very big and very powerful. And we're raising our attention up to our Sahasrara and tying it there so that it stays for the duration of this meditation. And then is the bandhan. So the bandhan is the protection. It's a horseshoe shape or a rainbow. And we start with our right hand on the left side. We go over and back is 1. And we do this 7 times. 2. Make sure we cover all our chakras. 3. 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay. And then what I like to do sometimes, and we should all do, is we give a bandhan. So we'll learn more about that later. It's just a clockwise rotation of our hand, and we can direct it at our foot soak tub. So we'll call vibrating it. And if you want a number, we can do it 7 times. Then we place our feet inside. So let's keep both our hands palm facing upwards on our lap. And we'll just do a short breathing exercise to begin with. Here we can take a deep breath in. Hold the breath. And breathe out. Hold the breath there. And breathe in. Hold the breath. And breathe out. So just at your own pace, continue. And what we're trying to do is expand the gap between each intake and outtake. And you can imagine this gap is like the gap between our thoughts. And we're just slowly expanding it to bring ourselves into this balanced state. And we'll do a short balancing exercise now. We can just place our right hand towards the Mother Earth. If we're sitting on a chair, it just has to be pointed towards the Mother Earth. And just to clear our left channel, we can pray, Mother Earth, please absorb all the negativity, all the tension from my left channel. Please remove any negativity from my left channel. We're just removing any lethargy, any impure desires, just letting the Mother Earth absorb all of that. And let's raise our left hand, like a chimney behind us, and just purify or clear our left channel. Sorry, and we're going to clear our right channel here. We already cleared our left channel. We're going to clear our right channel. And we can pray here, Mother Kundalini, this mother energy within us, please remove any heat from my right channel. So we're just surrendering all our overactivity, all our mental efforts, all our planning. We're just surrendering it to this mothering energy, the Kundalini. And let's place our left hand back on our lap. And we'll just make sure we're completely relaxed. And now we'll do something. We'll just raise our hand up through our central channel, and we'll take this sound, which is the Om, and we usually use it at the beginning of each mantra. And this Om is derived with the three sounds, the A, U, and which correspond to the three channels. And the corresponds to the central channel. So when we take this we can make it slightly longer. And this will really bring our attention into the central channel, into our Sahasrara. So we'll take this Om 3 times while raising our right hand. Oh. Om. And lastly, Om. And let's just keep our hand just for a moment, just to massage our Sahasrara just 1 or 2 times, just so we keep our attention here through the whole meditation. We can lower our right hand back to our lap. And we'll just work through some of the chakras. And we can just start at this Nabi chakra. And we can just say inside, Mother Kundalini, I am completely satisfied. Mother Kundalini, please make me completely satisfied. Please give me this sense of inner peace and well-being. And we can also pray here, Mother Kundalini, please make me completely detached from all worldly things. Give me that sense of detachment. Let's raise our right hand to our heart. We can just raise it to the left side of our chest. And we can just fully identify with this, with the essence of our being, the spirit. Mother Kundalini, I am the pure spirit. I am the pure spirit. I am the pure essence of love. I am detachment. I am peace. I am joy. I am the spirit. And we can raise our hand to the left side of our neck. We can turn our head a little towards the right here, just working on the left side here, just to say, Mother Kundalini, I am not guilty. We can pray here that anything that makes us feel unworthy that disturbs our sense of self-esteem, we can just pray that it is removed. Mother Kundalini, please remove all ideas that make me feel unworthy. We can raise our hand here to the forehead, and we can bow our head into our hand a little as a gesture of humility. And let's just feel our inner humility. Let's humble ourselves down a little. And just here say, I forgive. I forgive everyone, and I forgive myself. So with that sense of humility, we can move our hand to our sahasrara. We can massage our scalp a few times clockwise. And with complete sincerity, we can ask, Mother Kundalini, please give me my self-realization. Please give me the yoga. And if you've had this experience before, you can also pray, Mother Kundalini, please establish my self-realization. Please strengthen this connection, this yoga. And here we can raise our right hand a few centimeters above the top of our head and just see what we feel there. We can lower it and then raise it slightly higher. Keep it there. See if you feel anything. It could be the most subtlest of sensations. Like the fragrance of a rose. We can lower our right hand and raise our left hand above the top of our head. And again here, slightly raise it and see if you're getting any sensation there, any feeling on your hands. Okay, let's lower our left hand. And with a completely relaxed body, relaxed attitude, we can just enter the state of meditation, and any thoughts that try to disturb it, we can just say, not this, not this. And here we can slowly open our eyes, and we can rinse our feet just to end the foot soak. So I'm just taking my little foot soak little jug, rinsing my feet. And then you can just move your foot soak tub to one side to be dealt with later on. And we'll just stay in this meditative state and watch a talk from Shri Mataji Nirmala Devi, the founder of Sahaja Yoga.
I bow to all the seekers of truth. At the very outset, we have to understand that truth is what it is. We cannot conceptualize it. We cannot organize it, and we cannot use it for our own purposes. Moreover, with the blinkers on both the sides like a horse, with all our conditionings, we cannot find the truth. We have to be free people, we have to be open-minded people, like scientists, to see for ourselves what is the truth. If somebody preaches something, professes something, says something, is not to be accepted blindfolded. As I told you yesterday, that the essence of all the religions is to find the eternal and to treat the transitory in its own understanding and in its own limitations. That's why we have lost our balance. If we are really the people who want to know the truth, we have to know that at human awareness we cannot know it. It becomes a concept. You have to have the spiritual awareness, but spiritual awareness is a state of your being, where you become the spirit. Again the word I'll say become is not artificially certifying somebody that now you have become a Hindu or a Christian or a Muslim, you become anything. Because you may be a Muslim, Christian, Hindu, anything, you can commit any sin. You can do anything that is wrong. Nothing from inside is going to stop you. So all these things have become so much outward that now there are people who have started saying there is no God, there is nothing like religion, which is not true. First of all, when we say there is nothing or there is not God, we should find out. Have we been able to find out about it, or just in our ego we are saying there is no God? Have we been able to work it out to see if there is God or not? You do not judge God by the people who talk about God. Anybody can talk about God because they think there's no law that can catch them. They can talk against Him, they can talk for Him, they can do the way they like. They can even make money by talking against God and against all the prophets. That's a very good way of making money, blackmailing. But does that mean that whatever is written is a Bible? or whatever is black and white is to be taken that seriously. So first of all, we have to be little independent, to be free, to know that if you have to know the spirit, as they said, know thyself, then you have to know it on your central nervous system. As I can feel this is cold or hot, you have to feel the divine power which is all pervading, which is the truth, which manifests the truth because it is the love of God. You have to first feel it on your central nervous system, which is the Bodha. Now one may say that in the West we have advanced so much, all right, we have gone too far with everything. But if you see, when we started with science, what have we produced? Hydrogen bomb, atom bomb, all kinds of devils sitting on our heads. You take to any enterprise that we take, we go to extremes. There is no balance. Any mental projection is linear. It moves in one line and then recoils back, and then you are shocked. Now you have got acid rain, you produced machinery, all right. Machinery is for you, you are not for machinery. And thus there is no balance between you and the machinery, no balance between you and the science. It's just like going amok with anything that you get into your hand. And this balance you can only have when you become the spirit. You see beautiful chandeliers here, beautifully made, but unless and until there is light, what is the meaning of these chandeliers? Nothing. In the same way, if you do not have the light of the spirit shining in your attention, you will not know your meaning. Like this instrument. Unless and until it is connected to the mains, it is useless. Unless and until we are connected to the mains, we do not know the absolute. And that's why all these problems are there. Now, when I am talking about this instrument which lies within us, one has to again know that this is the knowledge of the roots. And to know the knowledge of the roots, you have to become a subtler personality. With a gross mind, you cannot see it. To become the subtler personality, minimum of minimum, you have to know that so far you have not known the roots. If you had known, there would be no problem. But there's something has gone wrong somewhere. In every human enterprise, even in religions, that's why today we find this kind of a farce going on. And what is gone wrong is that we have to seek the eternal. Maybe it might look little different. For example, Buddha and Mahavira did not talk about God at all. I also did not talk about God for 4 years, at least 3 years. As soon as you talk of God, again people start jumping. When can we become God? This is the first question. So first you become the self, the first step. That's why they did not talk. They said first you become yourself. Unless and until you have your eyes, how can you see the colors? So, first have your eyes. It is for your benevolence that you better get what you deserve. What is your own? Is your birthright as a human being to become the spirit. That is what Sahaja Yoga is. Saha means with and Jai is born. Born with you is the right. To get this yoga is the union with the divine.
Let us keep our attention, our focus on top of the head for a minute.
Thank you, Sylvia. So after listening to a talk by Shri Mataji and listening to the music, let's see where our attention is now. If there's still one or two thoughts, we can take a hand and rest it on top of our head. And raise our hand up and see if our attention follows our hand, and see if you find a place above your head where you can just tell that is the place I want to be, where it's going to be silent. And for many of us, a place where there is no thoughts at all. If there's still one or two rolling around, we're just watching them. We're watching it from a place of silence. So you can lower your hand. And without effort, without focusing, we're just watching. So we can sit either looking at the photograph of Shri Mataji. For some people that really helps to keep the attention very steady and silent. Or you can close your eyes. And just sit for a few minutes. We might feel heat or pressure, tingling, some kind of sensation in the hands. Maybe one hand feels a bit different from the other. Maybe one or two fingers or several fingers can feel a bit different. But at this time, we're in a state of just watching, not doing, just being. This is what you can try on your own at home at some point during the day, maybe when you first get up or before you sleep. You sit quietly, rest your hands open with the palms up, and see if you find that silence. So together we can once again raise this divine energy that we call Kundalini from the base of the spine, with the left hand going up the center and the right hand going down the outside, up the inside. So you raise it up and tie a knot. And a second time. Two knots. And a third time. And as Prasad said, these can be big knots if no one's sitting close to you. Then we can do the bandhan, the protection, from left hip up and over, down to the right hip and back, 7 times. So after you do this, again, you can just sit with your hands open. So at the beginning of the program, we said we would show you how to give a bandhan to something in particular. So we know about giving bandhans. Those of us who have been to the first 21 days, you know about giving bandhans to a chakra, giving bandhans to our entire subtle being. But we can also give a bandhan for something that is, for some reason, has grabbed our attention and it's distracting us, and maybe we're worried about it, we're kind of upset about it, we're anxious about it, and we want to be in a state of calm and peace and detachment. So you can try this. You take your left palm and you can write whatever it is. So say I'm concerned about I have to catch the train. So I can write catch the train, and I can actually spell it out in my own language on my left palm, and then I can circle it. So to the right at the top, clockwise, give it several bandhans, as we call them. And we're saying, divine attention, I want this to be your responsibility, your headache, not mine. And then let go of it. It's now in the hands of the divine attention. So now I don't need to think about it or worry about it. The people around me might still be racing around, forgetting things, dropping things, and I'm just calmly getting ready. Everything is packed, and we get to the train station, and we're 5 minutes late. And there's the announcement. The train is delayed 5 minutes. And then we go, yeah, I gave this over to the divine attention, and everything was taken care of. So that's called giving a bandhan. So before we bring back Prasad and Sylvia for one of my favorite parts of the program, when we get to learn what they're learning about Sahaja Yoga, we have a few announcements about the program. So we meet twice a week, and so Wednesday we're going to work on what we call the left channel, or Idanadi. And so those things from the past that still intrude, that still kind of spoil things, we'll learn how to let go of those things. And some of those things from the left channel we also call our conditionings. So it should be very enjoyable. And you'll need a special piece of equipment for that class. You'll need to bring a candle. So recommended that it's a candle in a candle holder so that the candle can stay very safe and stable, because it will be a live flame. So you handle that with great respect, and you need something to light the candle. So if you can bring that to the Wednesday class, we'll show you how you can clear some of that heaviness, that darkness, that stuff that's still there from our past, and then be lighter and in the present. So we are in session 2, so that means we meet Monday and Wednesday, and so the course will run till the 25th of May, always at 8 o'clock, and always at the same Zoom link. Now comes the time when you may want to request to meet with a Sahaja Yoga teacher and talk directly with them in your own language, and what's this all about? I felt this during the program. Something happened to me yesterday. I'm a bit confused. So then it's great to talk to somebody who's already walked a few steps down that path. So in the chat inside Zoom, you click the plus button, and then in the drop-down menu, you select Breakout Room Help, and also tell us what language. So we'll put you in a breakout room with somebody who speaks your language. We have lots of Sahaja Yoga teachers who stand by every program, eager to meditate with you, answer your questions, and share their experiences. We also have resources on our class webpage, and we also have a WhatsApp group, and we also have an email. So there's many ways to get support, someone to say, yes, that can happen also. It happened to me also. And now here's how we deal with that. Like say, I can't stop thinking. So many of us have had those moments. There's a QR code to the course webpage as well. So let me just show you the course webpage. When you click through on that QR code, you'll see that we have all the previous courses, all the previous classes recorded. So if you've missed anything, you can find it. And this also gives you a link to this class in Zoom or at our YouTube channel. And then every class is there, and if there's any special kind of materials or explanations that would really help you and you want to review it, or you missed a class, it's all there. And so there's all kinds of resources. Really poke around, explore this web page, and you'll see a lot of thought has gone in from those of us who have been doing this for a while, and we know that, boy, were we confused at some point, and we really could have used a little bit of extra information. So now you can ask for breakout room help in the Zoom chat, or you can send a chat message to me in the Zoom chat and pose your question. And I invite back Prasad and Sylvia. Okay, welcome back. Okay, so let's see if we have any questions here. All right, here's a good one. Someone has actually been to some of the classes before this session, and they're still having a tough time actually meditating every day, like we recommend. What suggestions do we have, Sylvia, for how to kind of get into a routine?
Yeah, that's a very important step, that when we attend the classes, and then how can we establish the same routine at home. What helped me personally was that when I'm going to a class, I have some of more experience, like I really feel cool vibrations in the hands, or I really feel very relaxed inside. And then when I go home, that feeling was not there. So every class, the same thing happened for a couple of weeks, and then, maybe I should start at home. So what helped me is that experience. I want to feel it again. The same feeling I have in a class, I want to feel at home. I want to feel that every day. And then that was my main motivation in the beginning, to really sit down at home. Okay, let me just try. In the class, they say sit 5 minutes when you wake up or before you go to sleep. And it hardly took 2 or 3 days. And in the morning, I wake up, I sit 5 minutes, even just on my bed. No special setup needed in the beginning. And and then I was like so joyful, feeling that similar feeling what I've experienced in the class. So that was my biggest motivator in the beginning. Yeah.
Prasad, I know I have days where, oh man, I don't think I have time. What is something that you're able to do that you're able to meditate?
Is it the same question basically? Is it?
Yeah,
Uh,
keeping up a daily routine if possible. Like we brush our teeth basically every day.
yeah. I mean, for me, in a way, it's slightly different because I grew up with Sahaja Yoga meditations, so it's kind of been inbuilt within me. Um, for me, what I the efforts that I make to gain a routine in are like waking up a little earlier. For example, at some points, I would like to wake up at 4 o'clock because then you can have a very good meditation, and that's obviously a little bit more difficult. But what helps me is if I surrender it and I just say and I ask with a sense of humility and sincerity, Mother Kundalini, please discipline me and please wake me up at this time. Because once you've achieved your self-realization, then you have this connection and you have this power within you, and you can really lean on that. Because if you force yourself, you can. I mean, you'll get very tired. It's a kind of it's more of an effort, and it can be, but yeah, I found that the easiest way is if you just surrender it to her in a sense, and I've found that it works. I'll get up at 4 o'clock and I say, well, she woke me up, and that's just kind of, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I put my attention on my first chakra, Muladhara chakra, and the quality there is innocence and our most strong connection to reality. And sometimes I will ask, that, okay, that divine power that's there, you please wake me up. So it's a very similar request. And then I'll set my alarm because I'm a very sensible modern man. And in basically every single time, I look at the clock when I wake up and I've got 1 minute remaining
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
on the alarm clock.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just extraordinary that within us is all the technology we need, and just to experiment and see.
It's an interesting thing, especially just with the waking up earlier, because in your mind you think I'll be tired for the rest of the day, but I find if you're able to get up that 10 minutes earlier, whatever you need to meditate, I really find the rest of the day I just feel so much more blissful. So it's really worth it.
Okay, here's a question about becoming quieter. Um, Sometimes anybody I talk to, they'll say, man, I was just thinking up a storm. I was sitting there, I was looking at the photograph of Shri Mataji, and it was just nonstop, all the plans of the day. Is there any connection between clearing chakras and becoming quieter? Sylvia.
I always compare it to a pipe, which is, our chakras and channels are like a pipe which is full of dirt. So then when the water comes, the water can only drip through slowly. But if you put a force, and our Kundalini has a strong force, gentle, but it has a force, that pressure can clear the channels out. And then the more clear we are, the better we feel the vibrations. And on the course, 21-day course, right, we teach small treatments such as the foot soak or what you will learn tomorrow about the candling. These are all tools we have ready in our pocket to clear our channels and chakras. And then chakra means wheel, means a wheel is turning. So if there is any blockage, right, the wheel turns slower and maybe we feel warm in the hands. But once we clear it out, for example, with the foot soak, the chakra moves faster and then we feel a gentle breeze in the hands or a cool breeze. So yes, it is directly connected that how the treatments we do, the tools we use to really feel more blissful. And then once we get that feeling sensation that it is more cool in the hands, then automatically we get easier thoughtless. Means our attention on top of the head and we don't have any thought for a fraction of time.
Anything you'd like to add, Prasad?
Yes, I've had some very nice experiences because I paint, and so I use this second chakra, which is the Swadhisthana, a lot, which is the chakra of creativity. So if you're a musician, artist, even if you know, anything that you do and you put a special attention to your creativity, your love, it usually uses this chakra. And artists tend to overuse it, and I do. And so sometimes when I'm sitting there, it's hard to stop thinking ideas, and it also affects my eyesight. My eyesight is not as clear sometimes. But I remember one time giving a bandhan to my right Swadhisthana, the right aspect is the active aspect, and I just immediately started to go thoughtless, and I had this incredible direct experience just from this clearing technique, where I just, you know, was thinking, and suddenly I stopped, my eyes went clear, I started to feel cool, and I could sit down and meditate. And the same experience happens when I sit outside and paint. Sometimes I'm thinking ideas about composition or whatever it is, and then I just look at the beauty of nature and I sit for a while, and I go thoughtless, and I realize then that I'm able to absorb the beauty in a much deeper and truer way than through any other effort.
Yeah, it is really similar with the music, same, because the Indian classical music is a combination of only a short percentage which is pre-composed and everything else is in a spontaneous flow. So like while I'm playing, and this is, say I'm playing one note for a longer time, and then if I put my attention on top of the head, I kind of hear, okay, what I should play next. But it's not coming from here. I really feel it as if it is like dripping into the head from some place outside, and then that phrase will flow. So it is the spontaneous improvisation also then happening, yeah, beautifully, yeah.
Today we saw giving a bandhan. So I wonder if you have any stories, Prasad, of something that for some reason you couldn't just let it happen, and then you gave it a bandhan, and then you were able to let it happen, and then what happened?
I can't really think of a specific experience. I mean, you know, I'll often give a bandhan, you know, if I don't know, if I hear some disturbing news or things like that. One experience I can just say where I didn't directly give a bandhan, but in my heart I did, in a sense, because, you know, I was working at a school. I was working at a school in Italy, and it was a, you know, foreign country, and the buses, they only come every so often, and I had a plane to catch back to England, and I didn't know when the bus would come, and I was just really hoping, and I was teaching the lesson, and it was a very, very tight time, and I was incredible, starting to really worry. And then at some point, I just let it go. It's in your hands. The higher powers that may be, it's in your hands. And as soon as I just walked out of the school, up the road, and there the bus was. It just appeared perfectly, and yeah, it was just a beautiful experience of surrendering and just being in the flow, and it's the higher powers. Everything is just taking you along.
Yeah, that's what I've noticed. Exactly that situation where I can do a formal, like formal bandhan, like I'm now use the writing finger on the palm and do this. But exactly as you're saying, I've also noticed that I can have that same releasing of the worry, of just like letting go of any sort of doubt and just being open to, let it happen. And so it can be just that sort of that an attitude, or I don't know what to call it, but yeah, and then, watch. I was in an airport once traveling and I was hot and tired and sticky, and I had the thought, wouldn't it be nice to have a shower? And I did not do this. I thought, well, come on. I mean, that's pretty basic stuff. I'm really going to ask the divine to find me a shower. But I just had that one little small desire. So a guy walked up to me and said, I already put the coin in the slot for the shower, but now I'm late. Do you want to use the shower?
Wow.
And I thought, it's amazing that just to watch and see how, if we don't worry about it, it's amazing to see how things happen. Sylvia, I bet you've used bandhans like I have.
Yes, not to take shower though, but um, I remember initially when we started meditating, or when I started meditating, I tried to solve everything mentally. And then over time, I realized how much I'm attached to my thoughts. It means I identify with my thoughts, that I'm my thoughts. But the more we meditate, that I realize, oh, actually, I have a heart. And then we work on opening the heart, and that I'm the pure spirit. And if I try things mentally, I just get a headache. It does not work. So then when I learned about Bandhan, I started using in small things, but it always is attached actually to a pure desire. Like, for example, I want to get up tomorrow morning 5 minutes early and meditate. Okay, let me give a Bandhan. Um, then over time, it becomes like second nature, as you said, that it's a simple desire. Mostly we use Bandhan like always for some positive things we cannot solve with overthinking or mental capacity. Then is the surrender, or we just let it go. Okay, the divine will take care of it. And then the results are so much better than what we ever have imagined. Yeah. I don't have a specific example, but these almost daily occurrences, that small things, or for the kids have a test the next day. Okay, let us give a bandhan. Don't overthink it. And then what happened during the test, that even sitting in school, they suddenly are thoughtless and they get the answer to them. Or so we can also not only give for ourselves, but for other people. If my kids are in school, I know, oh, it's time they have their test. I will give them a bandhan, and then just for good attention, for example, so that they can have the full focus on the test, exam, or quiz. And then they come home. Oh, you know what happened today during my test? I really got thoughtless. So that is a really beautiful thing, the bandhan, because it can help us, it can help ourselves, or with we are sending love. What we are doing is we are sending love to a problem. And that does not have to be our own problem. If it's a family problem, society, community, our city, country, we can go for the whole world. Yeah, we're just sending love.
Well, I can just sit here and meditate with you guys. I mean, wow. pure bliss to be with you. But within the strictures of this course, we also come to the end of each class. So reluctantly, but with great joy, I want to say thank you so much, Sylvia and Prasad,
Thank
and
you.
to the people who are watching what's on YouTube or live in Zoom. Wish you a very good rest of your day, and we'll see you Wednesday.
Good night, everyone. Bye.
Thank you so much, Mark. Thank you.